Scissors are a familiar tool in every family, from cutting paper, cutting fabric, to pruning trees or processing food. However, after a period of use or not being used for a long time, the scissors blades often become blunt, losing their original sharpness. At that time, cutting becomes difficult. The cut is no longer smooth but is torn, sometimes even damaging the material to be cut. This is not only annoying, but also wastes time and effort. My scissors are also experiencing the same problem. When trying to cut tissue paper, the paper does not come apart. The cut is frayed and stuck together. When trying again with biological gloves, the scissors are almost impossible to cut. The cutting blade slips and is not decisive. Obviously, the scissors have become very blunt. Instead of having to throw away and buy new scissors, today I will share with you an extremely simple tip. Taking advantage of available things in the house to sharpen scissors back to their original sharpness. With just toothpaste, a box cutter, a little baking soda and vinegar, we can completely turn dull scissors into shiny scissors, cutting everything easily. Now, let's move on to the first step. I take toothpaste. Any kind can be used, from regular white toothpaste to the kind with small particles. I squeeze a sufficient amount onto both sides of the scissors. Then, I use a toothbrush to spread the toothpaste evenly from the tip of the scissors to the base of the scissors. To avoid the toothpaste from falling on the table while working, I place the scissors on a layer of tissue or soft cloth. The toothpaste here acts as a mild abrasive, containing tiny silica particles inside. The brush helps the toothpaste penetrate deep into even the small rough spots that your hands cannot apply evenly. Thanks to that, the scissors are evenly covered with a thin layer of toothpaste, ready for the next sharpening step. These particles are used to clean plaque on teeth, but when applied to metal, they also help remove dullness, long-standing stains, and effectively sharpen the scissors. In addition, toothpaste also has mild cleaning and deodorizing properties, so it both sharpens and helps clean the scissor blades. After applying toothpaste evenly on the scissor blades, I started sharpening. Here, I will use a paper cutter, a very common item. Almost every family has one. However, there is an extremely important note. We do not sharpen the scissors with the sharp cutting edge of the knife, but will use the back of the knife to sharpen. The reason is that the back of the knife is hard and flat enough to rub against the scissor blades, but is safe, does not cause the risk of cutting your hand, and does not damage the surface of the scissors. I keep the paper cutter intact, do not remove the blade. If removed, the thin and sharp blade can easily cause danger during operation. Keeping the knife intact will help the hand hold more firmly, making it easier to control the force and direction of sharpening. When sharpening, I place the back of the knife on the surface of the scissor blade, then pull along the length of the blade from the inside out, like a gentle stroke. Each time I sharpen like this, I do about 10 to 15 turns, then switch to the other side of the blade and continue sharpening in the same way. Alternating sides continuously will help the blade to be sharpened evenly, avoiding the situation where one side is sharp and the other side is still dull. During the sharpening process, the layer of toothpaste covering the blade surface will combine with the friction from the back of the knife, creating a polishing effect, helping to remove the old dull layer and gradually reform a sharp edge for the blade. For better results, I can sharpen in many directions, from the base to the tip of the scissors, then from top to bottom, while sharpening and adjusting the hand force so that the blade is sharp but does not wear out too quickly. After sharpening both sides, I wipe the scissors with a paper towel to remove the remaining toothpaste and small metal dust, preparing for the next polishing step. . After sharpening and wiping off the toothpaste on the scissor blades, I move on to the brightening step to completely remove stubborn stains, rust, or long-term discoloration. First, I prepare an aluminum tray or metal box with a moderate depth, enough to cover the entire blade of the scissors. I put the sharpened scissors in the tray, making sure the blade is open so that both sides are in contact with the solution. Then, I sprinkle about 3 to 4 tablespoons of baking soda to cover the surface of the scissors. Baking soda is mildly alkaline, has the ability to clean, deodorize, and especially helps remove stains and rust on metal. Next, I pour white vinegar into the tray so that it covers the entire blade of the scissors. Immediately, I will see a bubbling reaction between the vinegar and baking soda. This reaction will create tiny air bubbles that penetrate the metal surface, helping to break the bonds of stubborn stains. I leave the scissors soaked for about 30 minutes to let the solution take effect. After soaking for enough time, I use an old toothbrush to thoroughly scrub the entire surface of the scissors. Thanks to the baking soda and vinegar solution that softens the dirt, just a light scrub can remove all the stains and rust that have been there for a long time. If there are more stubborn stains, I scrub a few more times to make sure the scissors blade is really shiny. After scrubbing, I rinse the scissors with clean water several times to remove any remaining solution residue. Finally, I use a soft cloth to dry them thoroughly to avoid moisture causing rust again. After this step, the scissors blade is not only noticeably brighter, but also clean, looking almost like new. After completing all the steps from sharpening the scissors, brightening them with baking soda and vinegar, and wiping them clean, I proceeded to check the results. This is the most interesting part, because we will clearly see the difference before and after sharpening. First, I took a piece of tissue paper like the first test. If before, the blunt scissors blade caused the paper to fray and tear, now, with just a gentle cut, the paper was neatly split in half. The cut was sharp, smooth, and very decisive, leaving almost no excess scratches. Next, I tried it with biological gloves. Before, the scissors were almost impossible to cut. The scissors blade slipped on the surface of the glove. But now, with just a light clamp, a cut was made quickly and neatly without having to use much force. This proves that the scissors blade has regained its sharpness as when it was first purchased. As you can see, after sharpening with a paper cutter combined with toothpaste, then brightening with baking soda and vinegar, the originally dull scissors were completely revived. Now, they are sharp, shiny, and ready to serve well for many household tasks. So with just a few simple tips, I have turned a pair of dull scissors into a pair of shiny and sharp scissors like new. This is an extremely easy method to apply at home, both saving costs and helping to keep the tools durable and beautiful. If you find this tip useful, try it right away and share the results with me. Don't forget to like, subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss the next great tips.